So we'll go to my number 9, The Holdovers, which I'm pretty confident is going to show up later, and we'll go back. Oh, it's your 8?
That's my 8.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of like one off. We're just like one off.
I think it's still going to show up on Art's list as well.
I got my...
Or am I mistaken?
No, Art said he didn't like Holdovers. I don't think this is on his 10.
No, I did like Holdovers.
But I thought you thought I liked it more.
You did like it more because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 16 on my list.
All right, so then let's...
Okay,
So mathematically, you like it more.
Yeah.
No, I respect
so
it.
no, you made it sound like it was ahead on your list. You made it sound like it was more on your 10.
It's in my top 20.
Yeah.
It's in your top 10.
Right.
That's why I'm like, you need this poster more than I do.
No, but like, because we were like, we're going to talk more about it later.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I don't think this is higher on Art's list.
Yeah,
There
that's
we
our
go.
peace treaty right there. We do agree on the Holdovers.
Yeah,
Y'all hyped it up like crazy coming out of TIFF. I didn't get to see it. The moment I did,
Really? Dude, it's
beautiful.
It's so damn cozy too, and it holds up. It holds up so well. Like watching it, I watched it again when it was snowing, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is perfect."
That's 40X.
Yeah, like right there, I was like, "Amazing." I'm gonna stand on my balcony
With the
for
whiskey?
2 seconds.
I sent a picture to Zach of a bottle of Jim Beam. I don't even like Jim Beam. I hate Jim Beam, but I did it in honor of this man, and I truly do believe he may be an upset.
You're talking Paul specifically is going to be an upset? Because I'm kind of...
Divine Joy Randolph seems to be a lock. Paul Giamatti might
would
put everyone in a frenzy.
I'm starting to come around to that
think
side
that he
too,
may be an
especially
underdog.
because
He deserves
his
it.
performance is such
He
like
does deserve it.
like a in a weird way, because it's not like a warm character, ultimately a really warm performance, and I think is such a celebration of the things that Paul Giamatti is particularly great at, because he can be this kind of curmudgeonly,
Best example, yeah.
weird guy, but he's ultimately really lovable and sweet. And like, I love the Cillian Murphy performance in Oppenheimer. We'll probably get to that, but he is more of a cipher for that movie. So yeah, I'm starting to lean Paul as well.
Alexander Payne said that when he wrote him, he specifically called the character Paul because there was nobody else who was going to be able to be him. Like that's how set on he was, and I agree with Zach.
good.
He is leaning verbally to almost being like Whiplash. What's his name's character? And then all of a sudden comes the other way, and he's got all these heartfelt moments. He's incredible in this movie.
Yeah, no, it's like, and honestly, everybody in that movie is firing on all cylinders. Like Dominic Sessa,
Sessa.
they just discovered, but for a first timer that they just discovered,
For a first timer, not bad.
He's so good.
He's perfectly suited for that role.
He's perfectly suited for that role, but obviously, like Paul is really standing out. And I just feel like there's such a range to what his character goes through, and like other than it being so cozy, the one other thing that kind of we always brought up, I think it was Jeff that first pointed it out, but it's true. Like we know it was doing all these tricks to make it feel like it was made in the 70s, but it does genuinely feel like this movie was made in the 70s and then lost, and then now they're like, we found this movie in the basement. And because it's like everything about it, like it's like the way it looks, the crackling audio, and it doesn't feel like it was faked. It feels like it was authentically shot to be that way because it was made in that time. And that seems like such a small thing, but it really does go so far for making this feel kind of more like one of those instant classics that you're watching it and you just know that like really a lot of people, this is going to be like a comfort movie for a lot of people. This is going to be something that people revisit every year. Yeah.
And I love also just specifically thinking about the idea of this as a cozy movie, because we talked about this on Intercut before, but Alexander Payne sort of rejects that idea. He doesn't think it is a cozy movie.
But I can agree.
But the thing is that, like, look, I think, if you think about like a Hallmark type of movie, a movie that's being designed to be cozy, it's almost like too cozy. It's suspicious.
Yeah.
It's trying so hard to be that thing that, like, when you get a movie like The Holdovers, it doesn't feel like it's bullshitting you.
No.
Yeah, there are some like rough edges and sharply worded insults, but ultimately it's a movie about like overcoming those kind of difficulties and those sadnesses that you carry with you to find a more content place to land. Yeah.
Yeah. When
he
I
read
say
the word wrong.
Exactly.
When I say cozy, I don't mean like this.
He
is
took it
this,
as an
like,
insult.
Yeah, and I don't mean it as this like perfectly happy thing. I just mean it as this thing that is like it makes you feel things like so effectively, and it set its environment so effectively that like I think the one thing that a lot of people don't realize if they're not from around where it snow makes everything so quiet. Everything gets this weird silence to the air that is like no one, you don't, if you've never experienced it, you don't know how to explain it. And like this movie gets that quality.
Got that tone, yeah.
It gets that quality in there that it feels familiar. You want to bundle up, you want to curl up and watch these people go through like very difficult times. And I'm like, they can say it's not cozy, but when they were sending out the like media press packages, they sent me
the coziest.
They sent me a sweater. They sent me a mug. They sent me a s'mores kit. They sent me hot chocolate. You know, they sent me a fucking Christmas candle. They're marketing it to be cozy because it's an environment. The movie is pulling you into an environment, and it's not this like horrific nightmare in the way that like when I'm saying cozy, I don't mean it in like a cheap way that I'm sure he's taking it, which I get why. I think it's the same thing with the May December camp argument. Like we don't mean it.
They're taking words in different ways.
They're taking the word in a different way. Then it's just kind of like, it's cozy in a way that it feels like this instant classic that you think of when you think of other big things.
Imagine at Sundance watching this.
Oh, I know.
Would have been
I'm bringing my digital. You bring the candle, we good.
This would have been the perfect Sundance movie if they didn't want it for the award season, which I get. They wanted it for the award season.
There's a comfort in watching broken people overcome the things that broke them.
Yes.
And I think it's just there's something really sweet to that too. So even if it isn't necessarily by his definition of cozy movie, and I'm made very cozy by it.
Yeah, you can't have a movie end in that way and have a character kind of go through that much of a like shift in perspective and behavior and do a thing that's so outside of what they've ever done in their life and not describe that as kind of like a comforting thing, that it's like that you've watched this person kind of like go through such a thing and you're worried about their future, you're concerned for them, but it's still beautiful, it's nice, and like you tear up and it's cozy, it's it's a good thing.
It's emotions, it's a good thing.
I would never describe a Hallmark movie as cozy because it wouldn't make me feel cozy, it would make me feel annoyed.
Right? So, shout out to that. Cheers to the Jim Beam out there. Divine Joan Randolph, I know that we're going to still talk about it again when it gets brought up, so we'll leave her as the cliffhanger there. But if he wins, Bradley Cooper's going to kill that man.
Dude, he's already getting gunned by fucking Gyllenhaal for just taking the movie in the first place. They were going close for that.
For which one, Maestro?
Yeah, Gyllenhaal wanted it.
That was Gyllenhaal's dream.
I gotta hear this. All right, this is a whole nother discussion.
That was
That's
Gyllenhaal's dream,
Bernstein.
Maestro.
Hey, Holdovers, the movie that keeps on giving.
But yeah, Divine is fantastic. I don't think we're talking about it again though, because it was my number 8. So like, I think now we're done with it. Unless
get out all your
Zach?
Holdovers thoughts now.
Yeah, Holdovers is my 8.
And my number 9.
Or my 7. My 8.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
Damn. And I had it in my top 20.
Dude, it's one of those ones that's
Divine Joan Randolph. Okay, we gotta pay our respects.
She was fantastic.
The heart of the movie.
She's the heart of the movie. She's got this underwhelming power to her. Overwhelming, not underwhelming.
On the rewatch, I noticed she has this whole arc about touching and being touched that is played so beautifully, and the final beat of that is just so touching. I watched this movie with my parents when I visited them recently, and I showed them all my favorite movies from the year. This was my mom's favorite. She really, really responded to it. Such a sweet movie.
Hey, Divine's so good in this. Look, she came out unscathed in those 5 episodes.
She already did. That's what I mean. She was already clean. Mm-hmm. She was a little iffy in that last one.
She came out clean. Yeah,
she came out clean. Her and Rachel clean.
She's great. She's been great. I mean, even last year, to me, it's the range that she has. Not just the Holdovers, but the Lost City of D. Before they dropped the D, she was incredible in that.
Yeah,
Dolomite is the reason why she got this role. Like she's fantastic.
She's fantastic.
She's an actress who completely disappears into her parts, and like her accent work. Some people like really lean so heavy into the Massachusetts Boston accent, and it's just layered in there. It's just
not Jenna Ortega. Everybody got finest kind. Everybody got finest kind.
No, just through and through, man. What a great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, given how much we've just been like pouring out our love for it, a little crazy that it's only number 8 for Amanda, 9 for me, and not even under 10.
I feel like I need to revisit it again. Yeah. It's just one of those. I feel like for whatever reason, there's so many strong movies from the beginning of this year that I haven't been able to let go of. Year. So there's still things that are moving around, but yeah.
A strong movie year too. So yeah, again, my number 9